There's a pair of work boots hanging from the old water tower just outside a town called Red Oak, Oklahoma. Faded leather, cracked and worn, swinging in the prairie wind since before I was born. As a kid I'd ask my daddy every time we drive by, why's nobody taking those boots down from the sky? He'd just grin and say, one day you'll understand. Then he'd shift that old truck into gear and head across the land. Years later at 17, I learned the story true about a man named Caleb Ross that only old-timers knew. He worked every ranch for 50 miles around, fixing fences after storms when they came crashing down. One summer brought a wildfire racing through the plains, the kind that turns the daylight orange and makes grown men pray. When the flames jumped Miller Creek and headed straight for town, Caleb stayed behind to help while everybody else got out. And those shoes by the water tower still dance with the Oklahoma wind, like a reminder of a man who gave more than he had to give. Some folks leave behind a fortune, some leave a famous name, but some leave a town still standing, and that ain't a small thing. For 20 hours straight he worked with volunteers, digging lines and moving cattle through smoke and fear. The fire finally turned away just north of County Road 9, and every family made it out with a little luck and time. The next morning when the danger passed and the sky turned blue, the town gathered at the diner trying to figure out what to do. The mayor climbed a ladder with Caleb standing near and tied those old work boots high above the water tower sphere. Now those shoes by the water tower still dance with the Oklahoma wind, like a reminder of a man who gave more than he had to give. Some folks leave behind a fortune, some leave a famous name, but some leave a town still standing, and that ain't a small thing. Caleb never liked attention, never made a speech or boast, said I only did what anybody would have done. But everyone knew better, 'cause when fear was running wild, he chose to stay and fight while others ran for miles. So the shoes by the water tower still catch the evening sun, watching over fields of wheat and children out having fun. And every new generation asks why they're hanging there. Then somebody tells the story, and Caleb's still with us somewhere. Yeah, those shoes by the water tower still dance in the prairie air. In the corner of Gate 12 at Nashville International sat an old upright piano, worn smooth from years of travelers' hands. Businessmen, young dreamers, soldiers heading overseas would stop and play a song or two before disappearing with the breeze. Most folks walk right past it, chasing flights and deadlines fast, never knowing every scratch upon that wood belonged to someone's past. But every Tuesday just past noon, an old man took that seat and played melodies so beautiful the whole terminal grew still. Nobody knew his story much, except he wore a faded cap and carried a photograph folded in his jacket flap. One afternoon I missed my flight and wound up listening near when he started playing Amazing Grace. I noticed tears. After the crowd had drifted off, I finally asked his name. He smiled and said, "I'm Walter, music's why I came." Then he pointed to the photograph he'd carried all those years, a young woman at that same piano, smiling ear to ear. At the piano at Gate 12, time slows down for a little while. Strangers become stories, and sorrow learns to smile. Every note carries somebody, every chord recalls a name, and for a few sweet minutes, we're all travelers just the same. He told me back in '89, his wife sang in local bars before cancer took her voice and left silence where songs are. On her final day, she made him promise through the pain, don't let the music leave this world when I can't sing again. So every Tuesday for 20 years he'd come and keep that vow, playing her favorite songs for people rushing through somehow. And nobody realized the reason behind those melodies until a reporter shared the story nationwide one week. At the piano at Gate 12, time slows down for a little while. Strangers become stories, and sorrow learns to smile. Every note carries somebody, every chord recalls a name, and for a few sweet minutes, we're all travelers just the same. The next Tuesday something happened no one there could have planned. 100 people gathered round, singing softly hand in hand. Flight crews, kids and weary strangers filled the terminal with sound. And Walter sat there crying as his wife's favorite song echoed around. Now the piano at Gate 12 still stands beneath those airport lights, and every Tuesday people gather before their flights take flight. Some come for the music, some come for the story told, but everyone leaves remembering that love can outlive growing old. Yeah, the piano at Gate 12 still keeps her song alive. Main Street, Tennessee, late July heat. I was fixing up a Chevy across from Maple Street when I looked up from the engine and caught a glimpse inside. A little bridal shop with lace hanging in the light. There she stood by the window with a tape measure in hand, pinning up a wedding gown, humming with the radio band. A strand of hair kept falling, she kept brushing it away, and somehow that simple moment stole my breath that day. For weeks I'd find excuses just to walk that side of town. Need a coffee, need some nails, anything to come around. She'd wave through the glass and smile every time we met, the kind that makes a man believe in things he ain't believed in yet. And then one Friday after closing, as the sun was sinking low, I finally crossed the street instead of letting another chance go. We talked until the courthouse clock struck 10:30, and before I drove away, I knew I'd see her again. She was the dress in the window, the answer I never knew I needed, like a light shining soft through the evening glow. When my heart had nearly quit believing, she didn't crash into my life like a storm rolling through. She came slow like a summer sunset, painting everything new. And every road I traveled led me somehow to the dress in the window and the girl I fell into. 3 years later on a Sunday, church bells filled the air. The whole town gathered smiling as she walked down the aisle there. And hanging in the front display, where I first saw her stand, was the very dress she'd stitched herself with her own two hands. I watched her coming toward me through the tears in her eyes, and every prayer I'd whispered finally felt alive. Funny how forever started with a glance across the street and a man too shy to walk over and speak. She was the dress in the window, the answer I never knew I needed, like a light shining soft through the evening glow. When my heart had nearly quit believing, she didn't crash into my life like a storm rolling through. She came slow like a summer sunset, painting everything new. And every road I traveled led me somehow to the dress in the window and the girl I fell into. Now there's a little girl sleeping upstairs tonight, with her mama's green eyes and her smile so bright. And sometimes when I lock up the garage after dark, I still look across Main Street and thank God where it all started. Yeah, she was the dress in the window, a simple moment nobody else would have seen. But some of the greatest love stories begin in places ordinary as can be. Now that old shop still glows every evening downtown, and every time her laughter drifts around, I'm reminded that forever sometimes starts with a view of a dress in the window and a dream coming true. There's a forgotten mining town tucked deep in Colorado hills, where the railway quit running and the clocks all learned to stand still. Most folks packed their lives in boxes when the silver dried away, but old Walter Green stayed behind and watched the years decay. Every evening at sundown he'd walk the empty street, past the boarded up hotel and the church without a priest. Then he'd climb the ridge above town where the cold winds always blew, and light a lantern by the tracks like he'd done his whole life through. The story went that 40 years ago his young son disappeared on a snowstorm night in January, the worst they'd seen in years. The boy had left to catch a train and never made it there. Nobody found no final words, just questions in the mountain air. People call it foolish hope, a wound that wouldn't heal, but Walter never missed a night, no matter how he'd feel. Through blizzards, floods, and summer heat, through every passing year, the lantern kept on burning bright for someone who might appear. And the last lantern in Black Creek still shines where the old rails meet, like a promise made that never broke, like a prayer rising through the smoke. When the whole world says let go, some hearts refuse to lose their hope. So the last lantern in Black Creek burns for the one who never came home. Then one October evening, when the aspens turned to gold, a stranger stepped off a freight train looking tired, gray and old. He stood beneath that lantern light with tears upon his face and stared toward the silent town like he recognized the place. Walter heard the footsteps coming down the gravel road. At first he thought the mountain wind was playing tricks again, but when the stranger softly said, "Dad, it's finally me," 40 years of sorrow broke like rain into the sea. And the last lantern in rising through the smoke. When the whole world says let go, some hearts refuse to lose their hope. And the last lantern in Black Creek burned long enough to bring him home. No one ever learned the whole story, where the years had taken him away. Some mysteries belong to heaven, and some are better left that way. But every soul in that old town still talks about that autumn night, when hope outlived the hands of time, and faith outshined the dark. Now the lantern's gone from Black Creek, the tracks lie quiet in their sleep. But the legend travels mountain winds through every valley, ridge and stream, that sometimes love keeps waiting long after reason says it's done. And sometimes one small light can guide a lost heart safely home. Yes, sometimes one small light can guide a lost heart safely home. I saw her standing by the gas station out on Highway 84. The summer storm was rolling in, thunder shaking the store. She held a cardboard coffee cup, hair dancing in the wind. And something in that moment made the whole world slow again. I offered her a ride to town before the clouds broke loose. She laughed and said, only if you're playing something good with roots. An old country song came through the speakers, crackling low. And somewhere between two verses, I forgot where I was going. We spent that Friday driving roads that barely had a name, crossing little county bridges while the sky poured down like the rain. She told me about Georgia and the dreams she left behind. I told her how I'd built these walls one heartbreak at a time. The windshield wipers kept the beat as evening settled in, and every mile beside her felt like a place I'd never been. Not because the road was new, but because she made it shine like sunlight breaking through a storm I'd carried for a long time. Now every time the rain comes down, I hear her laughing through this town, like a melody drifting from an old FM. And I fall in love all over again. She turned gray skies into gold somehow, made forever feel like right now. Every drop that hits this roof tonight still whispers her name in the rain outside. Later by the river, where the willow shadows sway, I got down on one knee at sunset as the daylight slipped away. She cried before I asked the question, said yes before I spoke, and the river carried echoes through the Tennessee smoke. Now there's a photograph beside our bed from that summer stormy day. Two young hearts beneath the station sign while while the clouds rolled away. Sometimes life arrives so quietly, you almost miss the sign. Then one unexpected moment changes everything inside. Now every time the rain comes down, I hear her laughing through this town, like a melody drifting from an old FM, and I fall in love all over again. She turned gray skies into gold somehow, made forever feel like right now. Every drop that hits this roof tonight still whispers her name in the rain outside. People spend their whole life searching for a feeling they can't explain. I found mine on a roadside shoulder in the middle of a summer rain. And when we're old and the years move on, when silver finds her hair, I'll still thank those storm clouds rolling in for leading me right there. So let the rain keep falling down across these fields outside our town. Every drop's a memory I can't replace of the day heaven put her in my way. She turned a passing storm into a lifetime, turned a lonely road into a finish line. And every night when the thunder rolls again, I still hear her name in the rain. Yes, every night when the thunder rolls again, I still hear her name in the rain. There's a wooden bench at mile 42 along an old Wyoming trail with a mountain view. It ain't on any map you'll find in a tourist stand, just a place beside the pines where the wildflowers still dance. I first saw it one September after 14 hours on the road, hauling cattle through the big horns with a heavy load. The sun was dropping low, painting gold across the sky, and carved into the back were words that caught my eye. If you're tired, sit a while. A year went by before I passed that way again. This time after losing my brother, my closest friend. The world felt colder than the snow building on the peaks, and grief had stolen every answer I was trying to seek. So I pulled over by that bench as evening settled in, found a notebook in a weatherproof box tucked underneath it then, filled with notes from strangers passing through the years, written in faded ink, stained by rain and tears. At the bench at mile 42, of the truth, a prayer, a memory, a goodbye, a reason to keep moving through the night. Some roads are lonely, that's for sure. Some wounds take longer to endure, but hope keeps showing up mile 42. One note came from a trucker who beat cancer in the spring. Another from a young girl learning what forgiveness means. A widow wrote about her husband and the stars he loved to see. And every page somehow felt like it was speaking straight to me. I sat there till the moon rose high above the mountain line, reading stories from strangers who had survived their hardest times. Then I took my pen and wrote my brother's name inside. For the first time since he left, I didn't feel alone that night at the bench at mile 42. People leave pieces of the truth, a prayer, a memory, a goodbye, a reason to keep moving through the night. Some roads are lonely, that's for sure. Some wounds take longer to endure, but hope keeps showing up somehow at the bench at mile 42. Nobody knows who built it there or who first placed that notebook down. But sometimes the best things in this world appear without a sound. Not every hero wears a badge, not every gift has a name. Sometimes healing starts with strangers who walk through the same pain. Now every fall I stop again and add another page with a pen, watching the sunset fade beyond the blue. And when life gets heavy, when the answers disappear, I remember all those voices that I found out there, and how a simple wooden bench helped carry people through. Yeah, hope still waits beside the pines at the bench at mile 42. Out on the Carolina coast where the Atlantic meets the sand, there stood a lonely lighthouse built by weathered working hands. My daddy kept that beacon burning through every storm that came, while I dreamed of bigger cities and a life beyond the waves. Every night he'd climb those stairs with a lantern and a key, while cargo ships crossed dark horizons far beyond the sea. He'd say a light ain't measured by how far away it shines, it's measured by the lives it helps make it home alive. At 18 I left Hatteras with a suitcase and a plan, certain there was something greater waiting for me inland. I spent 20 years in boardrooms wearing polished shoes and ties, building things that looked successful through everybody's eyes. Then one winter I got a call from a number I didn't know. The keeper's house was empty now, and Dad was gone. I flew back through a freezing rain to that familiar shore, and found his boots beside the door, like he just stepped out once more. I'm the lighthouse keeper's son, and it took me half a lifetime to learn where I came from. You can chase every distant skyline underneath the sun, but some lights keep guiding you long after they're gone. Through the fog and through the storms, through every road I wandered on, I'm the lighthouse keeper's son, and his light still leads me home. The town was planning to close the tower by the bay. Modern systems made it obsolete, or so the experts claimed. But as I walked those spiral stairs, I saw Dad's name carved deep beside 100 others who had kept watch over the sea. So I stood before the county board and made a different case. Said this lighthouse isn't concrete, steel and paint. It's every life that found the harbor when the ocean turned black, and somehow the whole room rose up and brought the old tower back. I'm the lighthouse keeper's son, and it took me half a lifetime to learn where I came from. You can chase every distant skyline underneath the sun, but some lights keep guiding you long after they're gone. Through the fog and through the storms, through every road I wandered on, I'm the lighthouse keeper's son, and his light still leads me home. Now every year on Father's Day, I climb those stairs alone, watch the beams sweep across the waves, and think about all I've come to know. The strongest men don't always build the tallest things you'll see. Sometimes they simply leave behind a reason to believe. Yeah, I'm the lighthouse keeper's son, and the older that I get, the more I understand. A good life ain't about the miles or money that you've won. It's about the people who become your guiding stars. Through the fog and through the storms, their lessons carry on. I'm the lighthouse keeper's son, and his light still leads me home. Yes, his light still leads me home. On Cedar Street in Arkansas stood a little yellow house where Miss Ruth sat every evening when the sun was going down. She'd stitch beside the front porch swing with a basket at her feet, adding patches to a quilt nobody had ever seen complete. Some came from a soldier's jacket, some from a baby dress, some from church choir robes worn on Sundays at their best. Every scrap had someone's story sewn between the seams, like a map of all the lives that built that little community. For 30 years folks dropped off pieces of their past, a work shirt from the sawmill, a ribbon from a graduation cap. Nobody really knew what Ruth intended it to be, but she'd smile and say, "You'll understand eventually." Then one April night, a fire swept through downtown fast. The feed store, bank, and barber shop disappeared in ash. The town hall burned to the foundation, records lost in smoke, and with them went a century of stories people hoped they'd always hold. That's when she brought out the quilt on Cedar Street, spread it wide for everyone to see. Every patch a name, every thread a memory, every color telling where we'd been. When the photographs were gone, the old records disappeared, that quilt became the history we thought we'd lost that year. The mayor stood there speechless as she laid it on the floor. More than 2,000 pieces stitched from door to door. Children found their grandparents, old friends found younger days, entire generations hidden in the fabric she'd saved. There was a square from the first schoolhouse built in 1932, a piece from a wedding tablecloth everybody knew. And when folks saw their stories there, something changed inside. They realized a town ain't buildings, it's the people tied together through time. That's what lived inside the quilt on Cedar Street. Every laugh and every defeat, every harvest, every storm, every dream, woven into something bigger than a single memory. When the photographs were gone, the old records disappeared, that quilt became the history we thought we'd lost that year. Miss Ruth passed away that winter at 94 years old, but before she left she wrote a note, folded careful in the quilt's old folds. It said, "The strongest threads are people, the cloth is only cloth. Take care of one another, and you'll never truly be lost." Now the quilt hangs in a museum built where the old town hall once stood, and school kids stop and stare a while, like every generation should. They see more than scraps of fabric, more than colors stitched with care. They see the heart of a small town story still hanging there. Yeah, the quilt on Cedar Street still holds us all together. Bought an old farmhouse outside of Lexington, white paint peeling off, porch leaning toward the sun. The realtor said it's been empty near 30 years or more, the kind of place where memories still creep through every floor. I spend my Saturdays fixing boards and patching cracks, pulling down old wallpaper nobody wanted back. Then one rainy afternoon, behind a bedroom wall, I found a faded envelope that looked like it survived it all. The paper smelled of dust and time, the ink was turning brown. It started to whoever finds this, if this house is still around. It was written by a farmer's wife in 1953 to a child she was carrying, but knew she'd never see. She wrote about the dog they had, the willow by the creek, how his father sang while working and prayed before he'd sleep. She said if life gets hard someday, don't let bitterness take a root. The strongest hearts are often grown where storms have passed on through. And I read every word by the light of a lamp, like a voice reaching out through the years and the dust, from a woman I'd never know, in a world long gone away, still finding a way to say, hold on to the people you love. Don't wait too long to speak, 'cause time keeps moving like a river, and tomorrow ain't guaranteed. I couldn't stop thinking about that letter for days, so I started digging through records, old archives and names. Turns out she passed that same year, before her son was born, and he grew up in that farmhouse where she never saw him grow. The boy became a teacher and lived into his 80s, raised 3 daughters of his own, and left behind a family. I tracked one granddaughter down in Bowling Green one night, and when she read her grandmother's words, she broke down and cried. She read every word by the light of her phone, like a hand reaching out from a place she'd never known, from a woman she'd only seen in a picture on the wall, still answering a call to hold on to the people you love. Don't wait too long to speak, 'cause time keeps moving like a river, and tomorrow ain't guaranteed. There's a and the truth you choose to leave behind. The house still stands beside the willow, the creek still runs the same, and now that letter rests inside a frame where no one will forget her name. Yeah, I keep those words beside the door where I can read them when life gets hard. A reminder that we're all connected by the stories in our hearts. And long after these walls are gone, long after I'm gone too, maybe somebody else will find a piece of hope hidden in the things we leave behind. Yeah, a piece of hope hidden in the things we leave behind. There was a man in Amarillo everybody knew by sight, riding an old green bicycle from morning until night. No fancy truck, no business sign, no ads in any paper, just a paint-stained denim jacket and a pocket full of brushes. He'd stop at farms and trailer parks, little houses off the road, painting names on rusty mailboxes where the prairie grasses grow. $10 if you had it, free if times were running tight, and somehow every mailbox looked brand new in the evening light. Nobody knew much about him except his name was Ray. He never talked about the past or where he'd come from anyway. But every Sunday after church, he'd sit beneath the cottonwoods, sketching barns and windmills like nobody else could. Then one spring a tornado tore through Carson County hard, ripped roofs off homes and scattered lives across 100 yards. Families lost photographs, letters, keepsakes from the years, the kind of things that can't be fixed with lumber, nails, and tears. That's when the man who painted mailboxes picked up more than paint and steel. He started painting memories for folks trying to heal. Oh, wedding days and harvest moons, Grandpa standing by the fields, and every brushstroke seemed to say some things survive if they're remembered still. For months he worked inside the church from sunrise until dark, turning faded snapshots into pieces of the heart. One by one the townsfolk came to see what he could do, and every painting brought back pieces of the lives they once knew. Then a reporter from Dallas came asking for his name, said the whole state's talking about these beautiful works he'd made. Ray just smiled and shook his head, said the story ain't about me, it's about helping people hold on to what they thought they'd never see. Yeah, the man who painted mailboxes picked up more than paint and steel. He started painting memories for folks trying to heal. Oh, wedding days and harvest moons, grandmas dancing in the fields, and every brushstroke seemed to say some things survive if they remembered still. When autumn came, he disappeared just as quietly as he'd arrived. Left no address, no forwarding trail, just colors that were left behind. But in the church hall hangs a sign, written by a child one day. Thank you for bringing back our stories, and nobody ever took it away. Now every mailbox down those roads still shines beneath the Texas sky. But what folks talk about these days ain't the names he painted on the side. It's how one stranger showed a town that healing takes more than time. And sometimes the richest people in the world leave everything behind. Yeah, sometimes the richest people in the world leave everything behind. There's a pawn shop on the edge of Tulsa by the railroad line, where old guitars and wedding rings wait to outrun harder times. One rainy Tuesday afternoon, killing time on my lunch break, I walked inside that dusty room just to get out of the rain. Behind a shelf of hunting boots and yellowed photographs hung a battered violin with a crack across its back. A handwritten tag beneath it read, "Not for sale today." And something about that little note made me stop and stay. The owner was an old man named Charlie Reed, who'd worked that count of 40 years, maybe more than he believed. I asked him why that violin never seemed to leave the wall. He smiled and poured us both some coffee. Then he told me it all. Back in '87, when the oil fields went bust, a young father brought it in because he had to feed his son. Said he'd buy it back someday when life got back on track. But the years kept moving forward and he never made it back. So the violin in the pawn shop waits like a promise frozen in time and space, for a hand that remembers every note it knew, for a dream that never quite made it through. Some things are worth more than money can say, more than a price tag fading away. And every scar in that old wood sings of the lives we carry in little things. A month later, Charlie called me out of the blue. Said, "You ain't gonna believe who's standing here wanting news." An old man with silver hair and hands worn thin with age had walked into the shop asking about that very case. He said, "My daddy used to play that fiddle every night till hard times took it from him. When I was just a child, he passed before he got it back, but he spoke about it still And I promised if I found it, I'd bring it home for him. Now the violin from the pawn shop sings in a house where grandchildren gather and dream. Its melody carries across the room like a voice returning after years of silence too. Some things are worth more than money can say, more than a lifetime drifting away. And every scar in that old wood sings of the lives we carry in little things. That night the family gathered on the porch under Oklahoma stars, and for the first time in 40 years they heard their grandfather's song. Not from a record or a story told, but from strings alive once more. And every note seemed to open up a long-forgotten door. Yeah, the violin from the pawn shop came home after decades wandering alone, and the music filled the spaces time had left behind. Now when the evening settles down and the crickets start their choir, that old fiddle tells a story that survives every fire. 'Cause love don't disappear with years, and dreams don't always die. Sometimes they just wait patiently for the right hands to arrive. On a gravel road in northern Montana where the winters cut like glass, there stood a one-room general store that somehow still managed to last. The sign was faded, the floorboards grown, the coffee pot stayed warm, and folks stopped in for more than feed whenever there was a storm. Old Miss Evelyn ran the place since 1979. She knew every kid, every ranch, every hard and troubled time. But what folks talked about the most was a rusty iron key hanging from a nail above the door for everybody to see. Nobody locked their houses much back when the town was young, but times changed like the weather, and trust grew harder to come by. Still that key stayed hanging there through every passing year. And if you asked Miss Evelyn why, she'd smile and say it's here. For the day somebody needs it more than pride will let them say. For the day a soul gets stranded and can't find another way, then she'd pour another coffee and go back to her routine, leaving folks to wonder what she really meant. That's the key above the door, for the lost and the worn, for the hearts carrying burdens they weren't meant to carry alone. When the road gets dark and lonely, when hope gets hard to find, there's still a place in this world where somebody leaves a light behind. Then came the blizzard of '08, the worst anybody knew. Wide walls of snow swallowed fences, trucks, and every familiar view. A ranch hand named Gill got caught 30 miles from town. His engine quit, his radio died, and the temperature kept dropping down. By pure luck, he found the store near midnight in the storm. The windows dark, the streets deserted, not another soul around. But there beside the entrance, hanging where it always had been, was that rusty iron key and a note tucked underneath. It said, if you're reading this tonight, come inside and get warm. There's soup in the freezer, blankets in the back room. Pay it forward when you can. That's the key above the door, for the lost and the worn, for the hearts carrying burdens they weren't meant to carry alone. When the road gets dark and lonely, when hope gets hard to find, there's still a place in this world where somebody leaves a light behind. The next spring folks gathered around and asked Miss Evelyn why. She said, my daddy taught me something before the day he died. He said, kindness ain't kindness if it waits for recognition. The best things people do are usually done unseen. Now the key above the door still hangs where it hung before, and travelers tell stories about what that little town stands for. Not the mountains or the cattle, not the rivers running wide, but the simple faith that somebody will help you through the night. Yeah, the key above the door still leaves a light behind. Grandpa's toolbox sat untouched for nearly 5 long years in the corner of the garage, collecting dust and memories. Rusty wrenches, bent up nails, receipts from 72, and 100 little pieces of a life nobody knew. One Saturday in early spring, I finally opened it, just looking for a socket set to fix a fence a bit. But underneath the bottom tray, folded tight and warm, was a hand-drawn map on yellow paper, weathered, stained, and torn. Across the top it simply said, for whoever finds this first, and listed roads through Missouri and a dozen little towns with circles drawn around old places I had never heard him name, and one short note beside the edge that only said, take the trip someday. So I loaded up my pickup and headed down the line, following that faded map, one county road at a time. The first stop was an old diner where a waitress smiled and said, your granddad used to stop right here every Thursday before dawn. And that map in Grandpa's toolbox wasn't leading me to gold, it was leading me through stories that had never been told. Every turn revealed a chapter, every mile revealed a man, and I realized how little we know about the lives behind our family names. One pen led to a schoolhouse where he fixed the furnace free. Another to a farmhouse where he'd helped a widow keep her wheat. There was a church in Kansas where he built a handicap ramp, and a riverbank in Iowa where he rescued a boy from the current's grasp. No newspaper had ever written a single word about those days. No medals hung upon his wall, no headlines praised his name. But town after town I met folks whose lives he'd quietly changed, and each story painted someone bigger than I'd ever known. Yeah, that map in Grandpa's toolbox wasn't leading me to gold, it was leading me through kindness he never stopped to show. Every stop revealed a lesson, every road revealed the truth. The strongest people often leave their greatest work unseen. The final mark was on a hillside overlooking fields of corn, where Grandpa used to watch the sunset when he felt tired and warm. There I found a small tin box buried underneath the stone. Inside was one last letter, written in his careful hand. It said, if you're reading this, remember, life ain't measured by what you own, it's measured by the people smiling because you helped them carry on. And if you ever feel forgotten or wonder what your life is worth, leave this world a little better than the day you found it first. And now that map hangs in my hallway where I see it every day, and whenever I get lost, it still shows me the way.